Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I was talking to a good friend of mine who is a key player in Kenya Kwanza government. The gentleman was trying to persuade me to join UDA party because according to him, UDA party is the party for the future, and that Raila Odinga's days in politics are actually numbered, and therefore I should not continue clinging to his party or clinging on his ideologies, which he personally appreciated, that I've always believed in. And I asked this gentleman a question that probably you could also help me answer. He didn't answer that question. I asked him about the future of UDA as a political party beyond William Ruto, because the history of this country is actually very clear. After the multipartyism, after the 1992 election where Moi won, then he was re-elected in 1992. What followed? He was defeated. What happened? KANU ended there. Then Moi Kibaki came in. When Moi Kibaki left office, all the political parties which were associated with Moi Kibaki followed him. Then Uhuru Kenyatta came. The moment Uhuru Kenyatta left office, Jubilee Party and TNA, all of them left. And therefore, I concluded that UDA party will also not survive beyond William Ruto, assuming William Ruto will win, even if he won the second term. And I told the guy that personally, I don't believe that UDA party will win in 2027 if elections were going to be free and fair. And of course, he told me that that's not possible because it's not going to be easy to defeat a certain president, just the way Uhuru was defeated. But that's not the subject for this video. In this video, I want to try and reveal to you guys the objectives of William Ruto's meeting with Kenya Kwanza members of parliament earlier today. Because yesterday in the evening, news emerged in this country that William Ruto had convened an urgent parliamentary group meeting, bringing together all Kenya Kwanza leaders. And of course, in the morning by 8:30, by 7:38 there, we had started seeing photos and images of UDA leaders, other political parties forming Kenya Kwanza, trooping to State House. According to the information which we have, over 200 members of parliament allied to William Ruto attended that meeting, although those numbers appear to be exaggerated, but that is the truth. Several members of parliament allied to William Ruto were at State House. Why do you think that meeting was convened? That's exactly what I want us to figure out in this video, because the meeting came abruptly, and the meeting is also coming at a time when President William Ruto is supposed to address the state of the nation. The meeting is also coming at a time when William Ruto is finding it very rough to move across the country. The meeting is coming at a time when majority of UDA members of parliament are actually finding it very rough, even in their own constituencies. So I want us to figure out the objective of that meeting. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before we do that, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. I really appreciate. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on the screen, because it goes a long way in supporting the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to dive in. Why do you think William Ruto convened that meeting urgently? The truth of the matter is that that meeting was attended by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. It was attended by the majority leader in the National Assembly, that is Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader at the Senate, Aaron Cheruiyot, the majority whip at the National Assembly, Sylvanus Osoro, and the majority whip in the Senate, Boni Halwale. So basically, the meeting was well attended, and as expected, Musalia Mudavadi was not part and parcel of that meeting. Why? Because Musalia Mudavadi is currently the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and because of that, he's not allowed to participate in political meetings. And of course, in one of my earlier videos, I opined that could have been a strategy by Ruto to lock Musalia Mudavadi from political activities. And of course, William Ruto is really trying to elevate the status of Musalia Mudavadi. So why do you think the meeting was convened? By the way, during the first Jubilee Parliamentary Group meeting, after Kenya Kwanza won the presidency, they met. And this is what William Ruto said that time. I mean, they were being taught how to eat with forks, kijikos, spoons, yeah? I don't know whether they've learned those, but watch Ruto.
Don't take it for granted that people know how to do stuff. Tomorrow, we are also going to have a session to show you a bit of etiquette. We want to show you how to hold, what to do, because sometimes we get embarrassed when senior people don't even know how to hold a spoon or how to hold a fork. So tomorrow we'll take time because we want to mentor everybody. And some people take things for granted. Mnanielewa? So tutapangana namna hivyo.
Now, if you ask me, the main reason why Ruto convened this meeting urgently is because of the hostile reception which he has been receiving across the country. You see, William Ruto has traversed the country of late, going to Mombasa, going to Western, going to Nyanza, William Ruto going to Central Kenya, going to Mountain, going to Ukambani, but the reception has been a bit hostile. And if not hostile, the reception has been a bit cold. And that has been worrying William Ruto. William Ruto is a politician. He's participated in politics for a long time. He knows when the crowd is hostile. He knows when the crowd is cold. He understands when the crowd is engaging. So he's been moving around, but without much impact. So William Ruto would come to Nyanza, camp there for 1 week, leave, no impact. Go to Coast, camp there 1 week, no impact. Go to Mount Kenya, feast on rice with the residents there. The moment he leaves, no impact. So that is worrying William Ruto. So I'm 100% sure that during this meeting, they probably discussed the situation on the ground and probably how to avoid those kind of embarrassing situations. Probably the kind of messaging they were going to tell the people there, why the residents or most places are hostile to them. And I'm sure because members of parliament understands the ground better, probably they also got the chance to tell William Ruto the real situation on the ground. So for me, that's number one, the first objective. The second objective why this meeting was convened is basically the State of the Nation address. On Thursday, William Ruto is expected to address the nation. But address the nation on what? Are Kenyans looking forward to that address? What should he tell Kenyans that will not annoy them? So it's about that, because yesterday Dennis Itumbi made some post on Twitter. Let me just hope I'll get it very fast before it's late. Let me just see if I'll be able to get the tweet by Dennis Itumbi yesterday, and you'll be shocked at how Kenyans really hate Kenya Kwanza of late. Dennis Itumbi made just a honest post where he was trying to, okay, this is what Dennis Itumbi posted. In your view, what is the state of the nation? What are the achievements? And what are the misses? Keep it. Systems, yeah, fact. What Dennis Itumbi was trying to say here, he was generally trying to collect data from Kenyans. What are your thoughts about Kenya Kwanza government? What have they achieved? What have they missed? And I'm sure, because Dennis Itumbi works closely with Ruto, I'm sure he took all these comments to Ruto government and they discussed, and probably they picked a few which they are going to put in or include in William Ruto's speech. Let me just read for you some. We love this government, Itumbi. Our lovely God-chosen president is doing an excellent work. One request, kindly ask him to increase taxes. Aongeze kabisa, thanks. So basically, if you read that statement, basically the guy is just, it's just being sarcastic. Another one says, Mrs. Achievement, if any, heavily overshadowed. So if you go through these responses here, which were posted on Dennis Itumbi's post, let me just read for you some two more so that you can understand. The State of the Nation address seems to be significant waste of airtime and resources, with many of us feeling that President Ruto tenure has been a letdown for Kenyans. During his time as the President of the Republic of Kenya, there have been numerous challenges. Oh, this is too long, I can't read it. Including a rising cost of living, heavy taxation, high fuel tariffs, and more. The Kenyan economy is witnessing a contraction, with many investors choosing to invest in neighboring countries due to high taxes and steep power tariffs. So basically, if you go through the comments in this tweet, including Benji Ndolo, who was one of the Dennis Itumbi team, is saying it's terrible state. Terrible state. So the truth is, the state of the nation, William Ruto really wanted to hear what he should tell Kenyans from the members of parliament, or what the members of parliament wanted him to include in his State of the Nation address. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, I was a very lucky man. One of our subscribers here, who owns a restaurant down here in town called Kavirondo Dishes next to Vundoba, invited me for lunch at that place. Whoa, I've never enjoyed traditional foods to that kind of standard. Well made, tasty, I can't describe it. So if you get chance, you can always pass by there at Kavirondo Dishes next to Vundoba, and you'll enjoy your meal. Ladies and gentlemen, the third objective of this meeting, in my view, is the state of economy. Kenya Kwanza government decided to increase taxes. And for them to increase taxes, it meant that their members of parliament had to vote for those increases. Those increases are being felt by Kenyans. And because the effects are being felt by Kenyans, and Kenyans know that the members of parliament are the ones who voted, they are finding it very difficult to move across the country. And that is the reason why most members of parliament, especially UD members of parliament, can no longer even go to their constituencies. So I'm sure they went to discuss how they can come up with a strategy on how to address the issue of the state of economy. Remember, at some point, they even came up with a messaging strategy. And that messaging strategy was so simple. According to the information at that time, they were told to blame the state of to the increase of fuel on several issues. One of them was the Ukraine war, Ukraine versus Russia. The other one was on international factors which were beyond them, according to them, and of course the impact of COVID. And that was they were telling Kenyans. And Kenyans didn't listen to them. Kenyans actually chased them away. So today we are seeing these members of parliament again coming back to the constituencies, and the cost of living are high. So they are not allowed to speak. This is what they discussed. And lastly, if you ask me, I think it's about the Haiti mission. Kenyans are supposed to send their troops to Haiti. And, for them to do that, MPs, members of parliament, must vote so that the government will not be blamed. So I think Ruto is trying to rally the members of parliament around that vote. And of course, there are also plans to increase additional taxes, which will require the support of members of parliament from Kenya Kwanza to vote, because most of them have turned themselves into a voting robot. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think, but that's my take. That's why I believe William Ruto convened that meeting. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.